Good day. So this week I'll have the opportunity to list four new co-ops for sale. I thought it would be a good chance to go into some of the differences between co-ops and condos because whenever I list these, I inevitably get tons of calls from people calling saying I'm calling about that condo, which indeed turns out to be a co-op. So here are just a couple of differences to consider. Neither one is good nor bad, but not everyone is good for every person. So, one of the first things that comes to mind when people think of co ops are the fact that there needs to be an approval by the board of the building that you're moving into. And in this case, it's called fellow shareholders because when you buy a co op, you don't become a deed owner, you become a shareholder, and the amount of monthly fees that you pay in the way of maintenance is determined by the amount of shares that you have. And the amount of shares is determined in some cases by the size of the unit you're buying and the floor that it's on. Normally, co ops are high rise buildings, and it's considered to be worth more to be on a higher floor. The other thing to keep in mind is that the initial cost of co-ops is normally much less expensive than a condo, which means if you go into one, you're probably going to be able to pay off that mortgage, so to speak, sooner than you would on a condo. But the other thing to keep in mind is that when you look at the monthly amounts you pay, even after your mortgage is gone, the monthly amount is going to stay about the same and it's never going to go away. In this case, the monthly amount usually includes your portion of taxes as well as maintenance for the building and all utilities in some cases, which can be a nice bonus for a lot of people. The other place that a co op really comes in handy for some people, particularly people who like privacy once they're settled in. And I say once they're settled in because, again, you do have board approval. You have to turn over all of your financials to a small group of individuals that will go through it and make sure that you're financially capable of holding up your share as a shareholder. But once you get in, your name's not on the record because the ownership for that building is going to be in the name of the building, not in the name of an individual. So you could have famous people living in the building. No one would ever know where they lived. So that's an advantage to some people. Um, so those are some of the things to consider when you look at what's on the market and you see a price difference in a building. The difference might be that one is a co-op and one's a condo, and you can decide which one makes sense for you. Happy to answer any other questions about it, of course.